hello, and welcome to the Luxury Lounge. That's right, every Thursday we head in the lounge, we shut the door, and we air our grievances with the world, and there's no grievance that's too big or too small or too frivolous. It is your problem, and it shall be heard. And if you want your issue read here on the Luxury Lounge, send it to JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. That's JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Title it Luxury Lounge. Give me a little sauce. You know, let Shelby know. Shelby's out there on the email. He's up at night with his, his hat with the pom-pom on the end, with his magnifying glass, little candle. He's reading your emails. So you got to title him Luxury Lounge, ba-da-da-da. Luxury Lounge, ba-da-da-da. You let us know what you're talking about in your heading of your email and then get into it. We love personal. We love specificity. That's right. Specificity. That sounds like it would be a song like that Aretha Franklin would have sang back in the day. Maybe because I'm thinking of like respect, RESPECT, and specificity, but I digress. Listen, people, and if you're out there and you want to come to a live show, I'm answering texts as I do this. This is rude. Okay. If you want to come to a live show, I'm on the road. I'm in Europe right now. I mean, this is kind of crazy. This comes out May 4th. I'm looking at my schedule. I am in Belfast tonight. Like, that's crazy. Belfast. I couldn't even point it out on a map. Okay, so then I'm coming to London. We added a fourth show. Copenhagen, Amsterdam, Berlin, Oslo. And then we're doing You Up Live. The You Up Live is a fantastic show. Fun for the whole family. Fun for the whole group chat. Chicago's coming up. That's the one you got to get ahead on. New York, Washington, Boston, Philadelphia. So we're doing a nice little East Coast run. And then I'm coming and doing stand-up. It's going to be, I'll be back doing the jokey jokes, Kansas City, Nashville, and hit that bell, Shelby. We have added to the calendar Stamford, Connecticut. So coming up to Connecticut, Lexington, Kentucky, Charlotte, North Carolina. So JaredFreid.com for all the tickets and all the information. I'm very excited about today's guest. Hilarious comic. You've been on the JTrain. You're not new to the JCU, the JTrain Cinematic Universe. You've been in the JTrain universe.
I've been on. I think we taped one in Kuwait.
Holy shit,
yeah,
we did.
We did. We went to the Middle East together.
And he has a new special that is on YouTube right now. The link is in the description. Shelby, we're going to put the link in the description. The link to the YouTube special, it's called The Attractives. Mike Vecchione, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me, and I know all your fans are attractive.
Right.
But even for the unfortunate-looking ones,
right?
Feel free to watch.
You can watch.
Yes.
You can listen. They should listen.
Yeah, they should.
They have a face for listening. That was always a funny thing people would say. Face for radio.
Face for radio is great.
Face for radio was such a soft insult.
Yeah, it really is. People usually do it on themselves. They go, I have a face for radio.
Right. Well, that's why it's a soft insult.
Yeah.
We are easy. It was a coddling of sorts to say, I can talk.
Unfortunate looking is another word that's fun.
Unfortunate looking would make me laugh.
Versus saying ugly.
Right. Ugly
is harsh. Yeah.
Ugly is harsh. Unfortunate looking, if someone said that about someone else in good company, if like you and I were talking and you were like, oh, that person's unfortunate looking, I would immediately laugh.
That's very funny.
It's very funny.
Or if you wanted to go another route, you could say it's a Jesus mistake. That's more of a Christian.
Right. I think that would be at church. You look at Jesus fucked up on that one. Yeah, as they're walking down with like the chips or whatever you guys eat.
That's right.
Right. So
it's
listen,
not too far off.
Mike Vecchione has a special, The Attractives. Mike is one of the funniest people alive. You've got to go watch the special. You're going to love it. It's a date night. It's a night on the couch. It's a Sunday when you're hungover. You're going to love the special. It's on YouTube. It's waiting for you.
YouTube for free. And please, if you like it, please share it. That's the beauty of YouTube.
Well, this is what we tell people. It's like nothing's free.
Right.
Nothing is free.
Yeah.
There's no free lunch. That's right, economists out there. 2 Penn State educations up here.
PSU.
We are. So listen. No, but we want you to touch the special. We want you to caress it.
Yes.
That's the thing. Just touch it in any way you can. There's forms of payment. A like is a touch. A comment is a touch. A share, that's a fondle.
Huge.
Fondle me.
Yeah. Molest.
Do it. Molest the special.
Molest the special.
So,
it's attractive.
And if you want to go follow Mike on Instagram, Comic Mike V
Yes.
on Instagram. Go follow. Get involved. You're going to love everything Mike does. Now, it's your first time in the lounge. People write in with their complaints.
Okay.
We're going to get to the complaints. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. If you want to be a part of the Luxury Lounge, again, let me repeat myself, JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. But also, if you want to be a part of, we do a Patreon version where your complaints are guaranteed to get read. That is my promise.
Oh, that's great.
So every complaint gets read in the Patreon version, patreon.com/Jared Freid. It's $5 a month for an additional 2 podcasts a week. I'm in Europe right now as I speak to you from the great beyond. I'm in Europe right now because we're getting ahead. So I'm sure I'll be taping Coffee with I do a Coffee with JTrain every week. I talk about the week that was. So It's a little bit of a story time podcast, and then we do the Luxury Lounge on Fridays. Let's get to the complaints because there's some really good ones. I'm going to do mine first. Hit the music, Shelby.
Jared, he has some problems. Jared, he's got some issues to do. Get off his chest right now. Jared has a lot of issues. Jared has a issue with a lot of things that we can discuss. Can you relate to the problem now?
Just went to the doctor.
Okay.
Just went to the doctor. Do you go for physicals and checkups? We were talking before we started taping.
Yes.
Here's what bothers me, and I'm thankful to all the doctors and nurses, but stop asking me any questions.
Right.
Don't ask me, have you had this shot? Have you done this yet? If it's not in front of you on my chart, I know nothing.
Yeah.
I don't need to sit there. They asked me if I had a tuberculosis shot in the past 10 years. I don't know. How would I ever know that?
How about, I don't know if I've had tuberculosis in the past 10 years. I could have just had it.
I could have had it, could have passed through my system, gone away. Right. It feels a little bit like they're trying to assess dominance on you.
Yeah.
They want to shake you up, show you how little you do know about yourself. Just when you say it out loud, because you could literally, if it's on there, it's either on there or it's not.
Yeah. That's a great point.
Right? Because they were asking me questions today. They're like, well, have you had your lipids checked? I'm like, I don't know what a lipid is. You're asking me questions that only.
I think they use it. I think you're right. They use it as an excuse to talk down to you.
Right.
I went to medical school and you didn't. We get it.
Well, I do understand in this day and age of Facebook and in social media, TikTok, Instagram, where everyone's coming up with their own stuff on the fly.
Right.
You want to let people know they know very little even before they even get into it. But can we at least fill out a chart? Let me fill something out that shows you I'm a Facebook idiot.
Yeah.
Ask me a question. Do you take Fit Tea? And I'll go, yeah, well, and write what you know about, drinking coffee after 6. And I'll write my long dissertation. They'll go, oh, this guy thinks he's a fucking smart person. Yeah. We're going to ask him about lipids. How about, if I write, do you think you're a fucking idiot? And I'll check that box so I don't get asked any questions.
Right. I think that, they're probing to see if you're an internet doctor.
Right.
I'm not an internet doctor. It's there's no need for any of this.
None of this. You don't have to
talk.
If it's not there, I am stupid. I will take your lead. You tell me everything to take, every shot to do. You could tell me you're going to fucking shoot it up my ass. I'd be like, let's do it.
But then they just load you up with stuff because it's they keep the money train rolling.
Right. Well, that's the other thing. They bring you to a portal and you don't even know where to find these results. And they ask you. Yeah. That's another thing. We've discussed the portal many times on this podcast. Just the idea that they go, yeah, it's in your portal, as if that's part of the apps I visit on an hourly basis. I just, the whole doctor thing is just, we're walking in. We know nothing. Yeah. We feel very uncomfortable. We don't want to be there. We're lucky. Right. I actually feel lucky that I've even gotten there. You should feel lucky I've even done this year. Yeah. To ask me lipids?
Yeah. The portal is the worst, too, because it's okay, in order to get my medical information that's dire to my health and maybe survival, I have to remember my password.
Right.
Now I can't remember my password. Now I have to go back and think about, do you want to do a new password? It's like, no, I'd like to have my old password.
Right.
I just can't remember it. It's like, well, maybe you have brain functioning problems if you can't remember your own password.
Right.
It's like, do we need to do a CAT scan now?
Now I got a CAT scan, and I'm sitting here for 20 minutes wondering if the test came back negative or not. Like, let's not add drama to this. There's a lot of adding drama. And when you go read the results, it goes, they're not in our terms.
Yes.
They're not in people terms. They're not layman's.
Yeah.
It's always like, well, for NW6, you rated highly functioning. And you're like, just say, you can fuck. Just say that. Fuck freely. That's what it should say. If a woman asks you, do you have anything, you can say, I'm good to fuck. That should be at the top of the chart. Just have that.
Well,
I don't
sometimes
need
you don't even
else.
know what negative is. It's like, it's negative. It's like, is that okay?
Right.
That means a no, I don't. Okay.
Two negatives make a positive.
It's
negative times a negative. You're like, what's the Pythagorean theorem? Yeah. This is it. Why not simplify? And I do think it's a little bit like, we'll show you. You're not that smart. Remember, you need us. And but I don't think myself to be above any doctor.
Right.
But I should be more angry at the people who think they're above doctors.
Well, I think what you're talking about is bedside manner. A little bedside manner would be good. How about talk me through it? I'm not in the medical field.
That's what I should be a professor of.
Bedside manner.
I just want that. They need to have that in med school. Bedside manner class.
Yeah.
So that should be like not an elective. It should be a required. They should be like, I'm definitely going to get an A in bedside manner.
Right.
It's an easy class, but a class you need to take.
Well, I have blood pressure issues, as we were discussing before the podcast, and it's like
the topics we go through before the show are wild.
I mean, it's really a great podcast before the podcast, but no, the blood pressure is like sometimes they'll just go, why is it so high? And it's like, isn't this like family history genetic?
I'm a fat fuck. What do you want me to say?
I don't know what to tell you. I'm living pretty healthy, but it's also maybe the way that you're. I'm sitting in a chair and you're strapping me down like I'm about to get a lethal injection. That maybe could have some effect.
I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous by the way. She's making no conversation or eye contact. She's just strapping me and like I'm about to shoot up.
Well, that is funny
tying
because
me off.
That's funny because you're going, well, there's other things here. Now you're the Facebook doctor.
Yeah.
You're like, well, it can't just be my blood pressure.
Right.
You have made me nervous.
You made me nervous. It's your fault.
And they're like, that has nothing to do with blood pressure. Well, listen, you've made me feel better. I was this whole morning. I had shots. I was taking blood. I was peeing in cups.
Well, doesn't it make you feel dirty that they talk down to you and then there's also a copay?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like
$50 on the table.
$15. It's like, what is the doctor getting a pizza on the
Right.
way home?
Where does this go?
Where's $15 go?
Mine was $50.
$50 copay?
And they go, do you want me to just charge your account? I was like, I didn't even know I had an account to charge.
Put it on my tab?
Put it on my tab. Throw it up. Yeah, I did get, I will say this. This is off topic. This isn't a complaint. This is just more what happened. I got an EKG. Mm-hmm. You ever got one of those?
Yeah.
They strap you up with all the cords. And no, I got an ultrasound with an EKG. And so there's this, so I have to lay on my side. If you're watching on YouTube, I laying on my side, I'm all hooked into the cords. And this older man is wrapping his arm around me, which I was like, maybe I need a girlfriend, because at that moment I go, I feel at ease. I felt loved.
I thought you were going to say a man was wrapping his arm around me, which I'm used to.
Which my go-to. This is my coming out episode.
This is your Fridays.
Right. He's wrapped around me. I'm going, wow, I'm a little too comfy with what's going on. And then he's with all the gel from the what's it called? So
from the EKG, because they stick the things to you.
No, the gel, not the EKG, the sonogram.
Okay.
So they're using that to like rub.
Oh
me
yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah.
So he's cuddling me. He's rubbing my stomach as he's doing this, and it's like oddly comfortable. And then he gets done, and he goes, "Okay, you're done," and he throws paper towels to me. So now I'm wiping off the gel with the paper towels. I'm like, oh my God, this is what it's like to get like coming on your tits. I'm getting the reverse. I've never felt it this way before. I've never had this.
It'd be great. He starts with the paper towels. Clean yourself up.
Right. You whore. I was literally wiping myself up, going, I guess this is what it's like. Yeah, I had no. It was oddly weird. The whole role reversal thing.
That's really funny.
Bizarre. Let's go to your complaint. Hit the music, Shelby.
It's the guest's turn to complain. They're ready to jump in. They've got lots of problems too. It ain't all about Jared. Let's hear their complaint of the day. Let's hear their complaint of the day. They're invited on the show to have some fun and complain with you. Let's hear that complaint.
Like Vecchione.
Okay. All right. Well, can I do two?
You can do as many
Okay.
as you like.
Well, one, I have to say, the one is personal. It's about you. When I came to the door, there was no mezuzah on the door, and I took issue with that. As a mezuzah, I knew it was something close.
Yet to mezuzah.
But
no,
as a Jew,
you said
I
correct.
feel like you should have one on the. We have one on our door. I have one on my door. I'm not even Jewish.
That's crazy. Well, that's
My
from
landlord
moving
is.
in. This is we're two sides of the same coin. You're too lazy to take it off. I'm too lazy to put it on.
I should. Yeah, that's great. I should take mine and give it to you. That's where it
An
belongs.
exchange of mezuzahs.
Yeah, mezuzah.
Mezuzah. No, you said it correct.
Who's protecting your home from the angel of
You're
death?
right. Shelby. I got Shelby here, but there is a mezuzah on the table. And here's to ping pong back the complaint. There's no sticky on the outside.
Oh.
It's a beautiful mezuzah that I got, and there's no sticky on it. And it's like, are you looking at? Is there a sticky? That's it. Isn't that a beautiful one?
But don't you have to put it on the door? Isn't that a thing?
You do. And here's the other thing. This is all back to confidence. I know you have to put it on the door, but I know that there's like, you have to say a prayer. You have to put it at a certain angle. I'm not sure if it's a right angle or a left angle. And the minute I get in my head about it, I go, I don't want to do it wrong, so I don't want to do it at all. But you're right. Maybe we should do it after this. We'll do the prayer.
We should
look
do
it
it.
up.
And we should do it for content.
Next
Especially
clip.
for only Jewish
Right.
Patreon.
Right.
No
That's-
Christians can.
it's cheaper.
Yeah. And can I make a confession also? I don't know if this is the place for confessions, but sometimes
Hold on. We have a wall that we put up so you'll feel comfortable.
Okay. All right, yeah. A screen.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go into a kosher place, and because I respect Jewish foods, but if they're rude to me, I'll secretly say a Christian prayer over the kosher foods, so that the Jewish people will have to re-bless everything.
Right. It's a double negative.
Yes.
It's exactly
Yep.
like
it's like you
two,
want to
two prayers cancel out the
Yeah.
prayer.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. I'll use my Christian prayer to negate their Jewish blessing. So, but my complaint is
Yes.
it has to do with, we're talking about air travel before we started.
Yeah.
Okay, I have
flew
a
in for-
huge one, dude. It gets me. I'm serious when I say this.
I think of your-
I'm almost watching my own brain because I'm astonished how furious this makes me.
I think of a joke of yours every single time I board a plane. And this is a plug city. This is a good plug for the special.
Yeah.
This is how great a comic Mike Vecchione is. Your joke speaks to me every time I board. I don't know if it's on the new special or not, but when they call service members up to board,
Oh yeah.
and you would
Yes.
say, did you do it on the special?
Yes.
Okay. It's a great.
I think we cut it, but I think we cut it.
If you
but
don't
it's-
mind, but it is such a funny point because you know, plain humor.
Yeah.
You know, you go, am I doing the joke that no one's done already? Because
right.
we all travel.
Right, I mean, there's
and
so
you're
many, yeah.
wondering if
Yeah.
it's already been in plain humor. Like, I like talking about the flight and people
Yeah.
can connect on it. That's
Right.
why people talk about it.
Right.
But when you said that you're like,
Well, I'm dressed like when they call veterans up, I go up and they go, "Sir, let me see credentials." I'm like, I'm top secret. I can't give my credentials. It's CIA, double agent, you know.
yeah.
I had something to that effect.
And then you had something about like, no, I'm a wuss. Like,
I can't remember the. I can't
you
remember.
did it. You did it when we went to Kuwait.
Oh yeah.
We did the shows in Kuwait, and
Kuwait.
and it would crush, and it crushed because it's funny, but also those people are the ones that get to board.
Oh yeah, they're the ones that get the board. Yeah.
Like we were doing
The veterans.
shows for the
Yeah,
veterans, for the troops.
For the troops.
Okay, so go on with your complaint.
Okay, so the complaint is, I mean, again, let me preface it with the intensity it's weird that you have this show because when you mentioned it at the beginning, I was like, oh, well, I try to keep it positive. You know, we all have complaints and stuff.
Listen.
But this gets me. I swear to God, every time it happens.
The luxury lounge complaining is positive
man,
here.
This really is a powerful
go.
one, and maybe my number one of all time. The plane lands. We're all sitting there.
Right.
Everybody gets up to get their stuff. Nobody wants to be on the plane anymore.
Right.
There's always somebody from the back who no one's going anywhere. We have to wait for the doors to open.
Right.
And it should just file out according
There's an
to
order
the rows.
to these things.
There's an order to these
Right.
things. It should just file out according to the rows. It's self-explanatory.
Right.
There's always somebody from the back who gets their bag and tries to run up ahead of it, and they make it like 4 rows, and then everybody else is already up.
Right.
And what was the point of that? You beat 4 people.
Now,
you beat 4 people. You're 4 seats up now. And then that person looks frustrated. The person who ran, they look frustrated because they're like, what is going on? It's like, do you not?
Right.
Is this your first time ever on, even if it's your first time ever on a plane, you see that there's an order to things.
Right.
And do you just think that you're going to run to the front of the plane?
What amount of time are you trying to get back? And then if they were trying to catch another flight, like...
No, see, that's the thing. If someone's trying to catch another flight, all they have to say is, and usually the flight attendants will make that announcement.
Right.
It's like, these 4 people have to catch this flight. It's like, by all means, go right now.
I am willing to help those people because I know I'll get it back at some point.
Right.
They should go on the loudspeaker, hey, listen, we're going to... And
even if the person says... Even if they don't make the announcement, the person goes, look, I have a connecting flight. Please, I'm out of the way.
Out of the way.
With no animosity whatsoever.
I'm cheering for them.
Yes.
I'm on their side. That's the thing.
I'm helping. I'm like, could you guys move? Like, this guy's got to go.
I think the person you're talking about that we all hate gets let off the social judgment hook because we kind of, part of us holds back because we go, they must have a flight.
Right.
And it's like, there should be, just like boarding, there, like where they go, okay, if you need extra time, if you're a service person, veteran. Now, first class, comfy class, regular. We should do that on the exit. So they should go...
Just go according to the rows.
Well, we are going according to the rows. Before landing, I want on the announcement, no one here has another flight.
You're right.
Because they know who has how many.
Yeah.
I was once on a flight from Newark to Atlanta. If you go from New York to Atlanta, you're on a flight amongst a bunch of people trying to catch a flight. So, like, the idea of rushing to the front is actually stupid.
Yeah.
They get on the loudspeaker, they go, there are 38 people with other flights. 38?
Yeah.
That is, like, crazy. That's a city bus at this point.
Right.
We're all going somewhere else in the country. So, when they announce 38, I go, good.
Yeah.
I want to know that. I don't need, Johnny Runstein trying to sprint ahead of me because I'm in the same position as you. I'm one of the 38.
Yeah.
So with this, I would love it if before landing they go, no one has anywhere to go. If you're running up front, we just know you're an asshole. Click.
Or they should just make the answer, just don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Let the rows out as they occur.
Right. And if they
say
nobody has nowhere to go, they'll go, okay, good to know. Yeah. Now we know full on asshole. There's no holding back for us.
But it's an issue also of you get out and you feel the person behind you struggling.
Right.
And now I just block it. I block the aisle and then I make them say, because it's almost like there's going to be a confrontation.
I go extra slow.
It's going to be a confrontation. They're going to bump into you and it's like, it becomes a thing. It's like, look, there's an orderly way to do this.
That makes it go faster.
That makes it go faster. And if you don't want to abide by the orderly way of doing things, then if there's no rules, then it's just chaos for everybody. And then anything goes. And then if you want to play that game, like I'm young enough and strong enough, like it's like if anything goes, then anything goes. Then I'll just reach out and bump you. Like it turns into hockey.
Then we wrestle. Then we fight for who goes next.
I mean,
it's Thunderdome.
It feels like that. It feels like if that's the way you want to make it, then fine. That's the rules. Don't have us playing by single file and then you're breaking the rules. If you want to break the rules, then does everybody just do that then?
I have a moment on the flight when everyone's getting off. I do have it in me to go stand up right away. But then I go, you got rows in front of you, chill.
Yeah.
You're going to get off. And I do have that moment where I think, like you were talking about blood pressure. That person, they're going to die sooner. Like, I was listening to a podcast. Americans are die the soonest of any developed country.
Really?
With the soon, and there's like they went over all the reasons. Like everyone brings up guns, but then you bring up health and all that stuff.
Right.
I think this is part of it. Like, I don't think you land in Berlin from London and everyone's like racing to get off. I think this is a uniquely American thing. Yeah, I think like the idea of being in a rush to make an extra buck.
Yeah.
I think we have that in us.
Yes.
It's almost a disease that we have.
I can almost see the person doing it too. I could see by how
you know
when
exactly
they get up
they
how
are.
jumpy they are.
Right.
It's like I can see that this person is going to try to do it. One guy did it. I mean, this was crazy. He didn't do it. His wife did it. His wife gets her bag. They're together now behind me, and she runs up like she gets four, like they always get like 4 rows, and then she comes to a dead stop and looks aggravated, and we're all getting our stuff out, and the guy has the balls to go, my wife is up there.
Ay. So now they're like a villain duo. Like they're like a husband and wife villain. Like,
it's insanity.
They're like Thanos.
It's like now
and his
she's
wife.
gonna get off before you, and she's gonna have to wait for you anyway.
It's nice to see that someone found their monster. Like that person was like, "Who's a piece of shit?"
Oh my god!
And she's like, "I am," and now they're together. Just a double threat of piece of shit.
Insane.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Mike Vecchione at Comic Mike V on Instagram. Go follow. The special's called The Attractives. It is on YouTube right now. You did it with Nate Bargatze, hilarious comic, and he's behind it, which is
he directed
cool.
it. He produced it in association with 800-Pound Gorilla, who
Love
was
it.
great.
All great
So
things.
shot in Nashville.
Zanies. Love it.
Fantastic.
We love it. We love Zanies in Nashville and Chicago, but the Nashville one, Lucy, we love everyone there. So
Lucy,
it's like all good people involved.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm very proud of the special. Please go watch it for free.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it and touch it, fondle it, take a little finger to its anus. And also on the subject of the attractives, we have a great lead-off email for our luxury lounge. Luxury lounge. My friends tell me I'm too pretty.
This is a real problem. There is prejudice against attractive people out there.
I totally agree. I absolutely.
Yeah.
If a hot person is telling me to do something other than look at their ass on Instagram, I am. We'll see. I'll be the judge of whether you can tell me anything other than about your butt. Right? Like, isn't there? It is an attractive. Bias.
Because people are biased because they figure, these people get all the benefits. And they do.
And they do.
And they do.
There is benefits. You know, you don't see a lot of hot homeless.
No.
You don't see
Unless
that.
they're intending to look homeless and hot.
Right. Well, then that's the reverse.
Yeah.
That's the Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Like,
we can get away with it.
Right. Hello, JTrain Shelby, an amazing guest. Feathers to you all around. I'll get right to it. I'm a 27-year-old female who is out here in the dating scene trying to meet people. I'm a generally attractive person, would probably rate myself a 7 or an 8. I don't think I'm stunning or a bombshell, but I'm generally confident in the way I look. Of course, I often show my friends the dating profiles of the guys I go on dates with. They're generally supportive, but I have one friend who goes out of their way to tell me that I'm so much hotter than the guy I'm going on a date with. I know this is a compliment, but it honestly just annoys me. Thanks for being a safe space for our complaints. Sincerely, am I the hot friend? I love this email.
Yeah.
Perfect luxury lounge complaint. It is the land of luxury. This is a good-looking person, obviously. 7 or 8. They're probably even hotter than that.
Yes, they are.
Right.
There's a shade of humble in there.
A lot of
I really like.
A real good taste of humble.
Yeah.
I agree with them wholeheartedly, don't you?
Yeah.
Like,
because it does get annoying.
Well,
you want to go out with somebody who's like, I think that maybe that person who's saying that you're too hot for everybody you're dating, maybe they have a motive.
Right. They don't want you to be happy.
They want to date you.
Oh, that could be.
So they're going to shoot down everybody who you're going to date, whether it's male or female.
Right. How could you be with that guy when you could be with me?
Right.
Well, I will say this. What is hot?
Yeah.
Hot is in the eye of the beholder.
Right.
Like, what they're trying to do is to pump you up while besmirching the people you're going out with. And it's like, this isn't helping, because here's the thing you want on a first date, especially from the dating apps. They're saying the guy you're going out with from the dating app is too ugly for you. It's like, thanks for the pump up speech.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get excited about this person that just asked me about their weekend. I know nothing about them. They're a stranger. I don't even want to go on this date in the first place. And I don't need you going, ugh, they're an ugly fucking troll.
Exactly. And then what if you get married and then you're still friends with that person? It's like, this is my husband of 5 years. We have 2 kids together. He's the dumpster fire that you were talking about.
I hate people. People do this a lot, and I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
But it's not
helpful.
It's not helpful, and it is something you'll never forget.
Right.
You will never. You saying, there are 6. Even just go, there are 6. And then I'm at the altar. I'm looking out to my friends and family. I'm looking at your face. I go, that the first thing in my mind would be, there's 6.
Yeah.
Right?
That's exactly right.
It's horrible.
It's mindset. It puts poison into your mind. You're already thinking about a lot on these dates. Many people don't like the system that they have to go through now.
Right.
So, and this person sounds like maybe an authentic person.
Right.
Like one of these people who doesn't want to do, but the nature of the way things are now, they have to go through this. Don't plant that seed that the person is not attractive.
And to add on to this, because you're totally right. And another thing, there's this thing going on right now where people are trying to, there's this thing going on right now where people sound like they're trying to pump you up, but it's really for them.
Yeah.
Like, this person isn't saying that guy is ugly, you're better looking than them. They're saying, agree with me.
Right.
All these men on the apps are ugly pieces of shit.
Yeah.
So I can feel better about my dating life and the reason it's not going well for me.
That's a great point. That's really a great point.
Because,
and maybe that person has been hurt before.
Right.
And instead of dealing with their issues the way that they should, you're right.
They're
extrapolating it out
to cheer us on. And that happens a lot with, and I bring this up because I'm in this world a little bit, in the dating world, because of the podcast that I do. So I hear from a lot of women. This yes queen culture going on that isn't helpful. Someone the other day commented that I needed to get on board with the advice, if they wanted to, they would. This is a big yes queen thing people say.
Right.
It's either a fuck yes or it's a fuck no. So it's like they either say fuck yes to you or it's a no. And I'm like, it's bad advice.
Yes.
That's the equivalent of saying drink more water to lose weight. You think the person who's having issues with their weight is just one go drink water away from being better?
Right. It's a little more complex.
It's a little more complex. This is a person who needs to see the nuance and needs to see it for themselves.
Yes.
So when you say, if it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no, what you're actually just doing that for you so you can sound like you're the confident person, you're getting the likes, you're getting the retweets. The person you said that to is in it. They're going, well, they text me every day, so they are saying yes a little bit, and I don't want my feelings hurt, and I kind of like them, and I had a good time with them. None of that is in the land of, if it ain't a fuck yeah, fuck no. And it's like, it's bad advice. Whether it's correct or not doesn't matter. It's not helpful to the person you are hoping to help.
We have the tendency in this culture also to take things that are complex, like a person and their feelings towards another person, and make them into the most basic motto or catchphrase that we can. Just to give it to somebody.
And that's to sell T-shirts.
Yes.
That's to get retweets.
Right.
Because that's what works on the internet.
Right.
Love and hate work on the internet.
Yeah.
Nothing meh gets retweeted.
Right.
Nothing meh. Nothing in between.
Right.
It's either
nuance.
No nuance. That's what podcasts are for.
Yeah.
That's why this is such a great conversation. That's why the Luxury Lounge exists. That's why I built it with my bare hands. It's getting hot out there, folks. Make sure you don't smell like you just spent 2 days in the subway. Lumi deodorant will ensure that your armpits, privates, feet, and more smell incredible in every season. Created by an OBGYN, Lumi is aluminum-free, skin-safe, and clinically proven to control odors for up to 72 hours. With best-selling scents like lavender sage, clean tangerine, and brand new additions like mint cucumber, there are so many ways to smell amazing. I have Lumi. I use Lumi. I love it. And I think it's toasted coconut. It smells like you want to eat it. It's so good, and it works. That's the most important part. And I have the cream that you can put on your body. It's just great. Lumi is the #1 whole body deodorant. So no matter where you have odor, it's safe to use Lumi. Lumi's starter pack comes with a solid stick deodorant. I use that. Cream tube deodorant. I love that. 2 free products of your choice and free shipping. Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. I'm telling you, that cream deodorant, put it on your feet. It's great. So it comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for the listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with code JTrain at LumiDeodorant.com. That's over 40% of your starter pack when you visit LumiDeodorant.com. Use code JTrain. This Mother's Day, give your mom the gift of some relaxation with luxurious bedding from Brooklinen. Brooklinen has the best sheets according to Wirecutter and Good Housekeeping. Their 100,000 5-star reviews just can't be wrong. Made from the highest quality materials, their sheets are ridiculously comfortable and giftable. So whether it's Mother's Day or moving day, Brooklinen has you covered. I will say this. My mom is a tough person to shop for, and she has quite literally asked me for Brooklinen. Before I even told her they were a sponsor of the show, she was like, I heard of this company, Brooklinen. I want some. Do you know them? I'm telling you. So if my mom likes it, yours is going to like it, because there's no one more difficult to buy a gift for than my mom. And listen, she's asking for Brooklinen, so you're in good hands here. Brooklinen's best-selling Luxe Sateen sheets are buttery soft, and if you're looking for an all-natural option, the organic line has just what you need. So if you have a mom that is in the organic game, there's a great gift right in front of your eyes. Done. The holiday's over. What are you waiting for? Get to brooklinen.com to gift yourself or your loved ones the rest they deserve. First timer, get 15% off your first purchase. And don't forget to sign up for emails to be kept up to date on exclusive offers, new products, and much more. Shop in-store or visit brooklinen.com for all things comfort. That's BROOKLINEN.com for the best in class, everything for your best home. JTrain Podcast at gmail.com. JTrain Podcast at gmail.com. Here with Mike Vecchione at Comic Mike V. The Attractives. It's the special. It is out right now. It is hilarious. You got to go watch it. Luxury Lounge. My Spotify gripe.
Ooh.
Jared, an esteemed guest, longtime listener, first-time caller, Feather. My Luxury Lounge complaint is that Spotify keeps ruining my music recommendations and curated playlists because of the music I'm listening to while I'm working out. It's a fantastic complaint. I'm going for an app so sophisticated in predicting what music I'm going to like. Why can't it tell me that the music what I'm listening to when I'm driving to work is not the same as when I'm at the gym grinding away?
Gotcha.
I can't be that hard to add a work. It can't be that hard to add a workout mode feature, so it can disregard all those songs in what I'm actually disregard all those songs in what I am actually looking to listen to. This is correct,
Right.
You go to the gym, you're a lifter.
Yes.
I go to the gym. You go to a place. You go to a place that maybe is a little different than you walking around in public.
Right.
What do you listen to at the gym?
It's a mix between like a older 80s dance music and metal.
Right.
Yeah. And some rap. Some like hardcore rap.
Like if that came on when you're like, hey, put on some music at the party.
Right.
You'd be embarrassed.
Yes.
Hey, just hit shuffle. And it's like, welcome to the jungle. Run the games.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, whoa, what's wrong? Are you
because
a fucking
your
murderer?
mindset is that of a gorilla in the gym.
Right.
Yeah. Primal.
You're going at it.
You're going at it.
And it's like you need the music to get you to that place.
Right.
You don't want the same playlist.
No.
Hey, you bring a girl home? Hey, lay down. I'll put on the playlist. And then the first song is like Stained. It's like, do you listen to Stained?
Yeah, it's much different. That's a great point.
Wow.
It's much different. It's much different.
Right.
It's
embarrassing.
Who you are in the gym is not who you are in regular life.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't profess yourself to be
that.
You would go to the gym, you're going to whatever mindset that pumps you up, that gets you to that place to be able to lift the weights.
Because the whole point is to break your body down. That's really
Right.
what you're doing in the gym. And in order to do that, you have to go past your breaking point.
Right.
And in order to do that, you have to go through a fair amount of suffering.
Right.
You're doing it correctly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not a normal day.
Right.
A normal day is like, I want to just, sunny day.
Yeah.
Sunny day.
Yeah.
You want like you want the funk music going
Right.
on. And again, the emailer is completely right. You're dealing with a company that created a magical father algorithm that can just know who you are.
Right.
Can't you switch modes? Can't you go, daytime mode to nighttime mode?
Yes.
Like there should be workout mode. You should have
mode.
2 different screens.
Absolutely.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com, JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Here with Mike Vecchione. The Attractives. It's called The Attractives because there's a joke about
having a mask on.
And
good-looking people got the short end of the stick
during COVID.
during the pandemic, because we all had to wear masks and we're used to be treated a certain way because we're attractive.
That's right.
But because we had these masks on, people couldn't tell we were attractive, and it was horrible for us.
Legitimately a luxury lounge complaint.
That joke is a complaint.
That's a perfect luxury lounge complaint that I would agree with.
Yes.
Especially, I mean, I have a perfect nose, covered up, the whole
covered up the entire time because of the government. Just kidding.
Luxury lounge. I'm not taking out a mortgage.
Okay.
Dear JTrain, feather. I'm a young single gal living in New York City, looking to buy an apartment due to rent increasing astronomically. I could barely read. I initially planned to take out a mortgage like one would normally do, especially at my age. However, after talking to my parents, I learned I will be able to take out enough money from my inheritance and investments to make a 100% cash offer. Whoo!
Wow.
Being in New York City.
It's great.
Just $1 million lying around. Good
great.
for you. Being in this position, I am also able to negotiate a better price. I am very fortunate and grateful to be in this position and own an apartment with 0 debt. The problem, I feel extremely uncomfortable when I share with friends I'm planning to buy an apartment, and the response is always, mortgage rates are extremely high and not the best time to take out a loan. I don't want to share my situation since I don't want to come off like a trust fund kid. I've started saying I've been able to lock in a good rate, but I still get dirty looks and feel awkward. I'm very excited to own my own place, but tired of receiving unsolicited financial advice when it doesn't apply to me. Thank you for being a safe place to share my very privileged problem. Sincerely, closeted debt-free gal. This is a fantastic email. Let me just make this person feel to write this in, because you're right.
Yeah.
It is interesting what a product of our environment we are.
Right.
So like this person, you got the cash lying around.
Yeah.
The smart financial thing to do is to not have high rates, especially you could take out a loan later in life when they go down and get back the cash. You can
remortgage,
whatever there's
mortgage.
A reverse mortgage. There's all you can,
equity,
home equity loan.
Yeah.
There's ways that you can get the
when
cash
you
back
need it.
when you need it, and financially, you're moving the deck chairs around the deck, like type of thing, and it's a great. I think it's like good for you. It is so funny that because mortgage rates are high and no one knows what the hell they're talking about.
Right.
They're just saying the thing they've heard.
Right. That's absolutely
on the street.
Right.
It's not like they're sitting there going, "Whoa, you're taking out a loan now," and they do that because it makes them feel good.
Right.
They're a part of the conversation. They sound a little smarter. It's better than talking about the weather.
Right.
So then they go, "Whoa!" So like the thing you should know is none of these people have any clue what they're talking about.
Right.
And I own my own apartment. You go through the process. You go, and people ask you questions. I didn't know. It was like lipids.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything. And you have to fake it.
Right.
And I think her lie makes total sense. Like, I think like saying, like, I found a mortgage. I would rather the judgment of taking out a mortgage in these times than the judgment of, I had a couple million lying around ready to buy a place.
Yeah, I don't think she should have to be ashamed of her situation.
Right.
I
mean,
understand why,
right.
because everybody now has this narrative that they're self-made, even if they're not.
Right.
But that's
right.
a great narrative to have. It's like, I did this all myself. It's like, if I ever get any moniker of success, it will, I mean, I pushed it and I worked, obviously.
Right.
But there's 1,000 people responsible for it. It's not, I am far from self-made. And most people are very far from self-made, even if they are successful, which they deserve the credit for. But I mean, come on, there's a lot of people responsible for your credit.
It is interesting. I am as far from self-made as it gets. In absolutely, I totally agree with everything they're saying. It is such an interesting time right now for that, because when what it is for the amount of people that talk about how self-made they are.
Right.
Let's say there's a percentage of them that are being truthful.
Right.
Okay. Fine. Or they came from something that was harder harder than my coming from something, which I would agree with.
Yeah.
It's like the idea of privilege. I don't think emotionally people can't handle hearing that. They can't handle going, yeah, you probably did have it a little easier, but good for you. Like, I don't know what else to say to that.
Right.
It's almost like I love chocolate, so fuck vanilla. They take I love chocolate as fuck vanilla. I worked hard. Well, they take it as you didn't work as hard as me, which is not what people are generally saying, but it does feel like that.
Yeah, I just feel like people like this narrative about it was all me,
right?
When it rarely is it all you.
Well, that's the thing. That's why this person's afraid to even come out with.
But I'd say share it with your wealthier friends,
right?
Who are like,
create
a
wider class divide. This is why.
Your wealthier friends would be like, yeah, that's right. But you don't want to make the wrong decision because people are trying to drag you into their world.
Absolutely. That's why they're lying. I mean, the lie works. You just go, yeah, I'm taking out a loan.
Yeah.
Rates suck.
Yeah.
I would just agree. I would just be like, you beat me up. Spit on my face. Yeah. Rates suck. I'm getting fucked.
How hard is it to say, look, this sounds better than I have I'm getting an inheritance. I was able to raise enough capital to pay it out. Now I can raise the capital. I'm a hero.
Yeah.
I'm a self-motivated hero.
Right.
You weren't able to raise the capital, so you have to get a mortgage, but I was able to raise the capital. So now that's how I can pay for it. Any advice on that now? I
love that solution, because what it does is brings them into a war of words.
Yes.
That now maybe they don't even know what capital means.
Right.
Because that's not in the news as much as mortgage rates are.
Right.
Right. So I was able to raise enough capital to get into the real estate game.
Yeah.
Real estate's kind of like my thing that I love doing.
It's my soft hobby.
Right. Soft hobby. Yeah, it is. I think this is like such a perfect email, because it's like, I understand exactly what they're worried about.
Right.
I understand exactly what people are giving. They're giving them shit about the lie.
Yeah.
That's how crazy. And I think this has to do with social media and millennials in general. I'm assuming their age, but I'm assuming they're around late 20s, early 30s.
Right.
And it is funny that millennials don't want to be wrong. They don't want to have made the wrong decision.
Right.
They also don't want to be considered someone that had it too easy, in the way you're saying.
Yeah.
And we all consider ourselves able to comment on each other's shit a lot.
Right.
And so this is like the perfect storm of garbage.
Yes.
Like, it is, I think raise enough capital. Maybe, lying at this point, people have to know you have $2 million.
Right.
If you have $2 million. I don't think it's a surprise to people. As much as they think it might be a surprise.
Yeah. But people don't like this. That's a great point. It's a great email, because people do not like to put it out there. They do not want to put that out there. There's a real fear of being judged.
I would do the same thing as them. I would say the same. I would be like, I have a mortgage. And then with rates, I know, just found the perfect place.
Right.
I would just, the place was just too perfect.
But the whole thing is that they need advice. So they really have to, that's why they can't say they had a mortgage. They need advice. Don't they? Isn't that the whole email?
No.
They need advice or on having to buy a place?
No, they're just buying a place.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just say that you got a great rate. Yeah,
found the perfect place.
Right.
Found it and got a great.
The mortgage is what I just paid a high rate. Sorry, I paid. We all got to do it. Sucks, man.
And you almost have to be like, I'm a stupid idiot.
Yeah.
And the problem is if someone finds out, they don't have a mortgage, you go, you're fucked. If someone finds out, you're fucked. This is a secret you have to take to the grave. Because
Yeah.
if someone finds out you have no mortgage after you told them they have a mortgage,
Yeah.
you got a great rate. Whew, it's not going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
I had to lie because of people like you judging me.
Right. I mean, this is one of those lies that like comes out in like a political campaign.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh my God. It's like everyone would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
There's not one
Absolutely.
person alive. Or they would have said the truth. And the truth is like kind of really difficult to put out there.
Right.
In a social setting.
Yeah.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Mike Vecchione at Comic Mike V. The special, The Attractives. It's on YouTube right now. The link is in the bio of this episode. We made it so incredibly easy.
Thank you, buddy.
For people to go watch. No, they should be thanking you. You gave them something to do tonight.
Yes.
Luxury Lounge, Stage 5, Klinger. Jared and guests, love the pod. Now into my complaint. Yesterday, I took my college friend who was driving through town to a restaurant to catch up over happy hour. The restaurant is walking distance from my apartment, has great food and drinks, and is a cute spot. However, the waiter came to our table at least 20 times over the span of 1 to 1.5 hours, less than every 5 minutes. That's crazy. What's to check in on?
Wow.
I haven't seen this friend in a while, so we were both trying to update on our lives and spill some piping hot scalding tea. But this very sweet waiter would come up to check on us over and over while I'm telling her what went down after I let a different friend know that her wife was cheated on.
Oh, my God.
For example, we were in a separate small sunroom in the restaurant, so it wasn't just a you good thumbs up as he was walking by the other tables. It was worse than if he had just forgotten about us, in my opinion. Thanks for letting me complain. The two on top of you waiter.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, that is brutal because she's trying to have like these personal moments.
Right.
You know, that you talk over drinks. Right. And the guy is just...
Need more water?
Yeah.
A little water?
Yeah.
Need more water?
She's just trying to get into like some really like juicy gossip.
And then she cheated on her husband. You guys good? How are the first bites? I hate how are the first bites.
How is everything doing over here?
Everything's been good since 5 minutes ago. We're fine. Also, to me, there's totally. I hate everything about this. You're trying to like get through this. Like you're trying to eat and talk.
Right.
You don't need a third thing coming through.
I mean, you want a guy checking in on you every 5 minutes. It sounds like maybe the waiter was attracted to one or both of them.
That's the thing. They don't get to their sexes. They don't say what they identify as until late in the email.
Okay.
And that's what I kept looking for. I was like, okay. And they did say, it wasn't just a thumbs up. He was walking by other tables, and then she's talking to her friend. She didn't say what her. I'm assuming it's two women. And a guy waiter.
Yes.
And that's the thing. We know.
Yeah. You know what's going on here. Yeah.
Dude's gonna dude.
Yes.
And dude was like, let me get as much face. And this is like the thing of being a woman that I would just be, that we don't deal with.
No.
Like the Uber
Little
driver
things like
talks,
this.
little things. Like the Uber driver who's talking to you, like we get an Uber driver that talks to us, but then we socially, like earphone in, we good.
Yeah.
But these guys keep going and it's something we can't really even understand.
You're right. It's one of those things. It's one of those things where it's just like you have to like when girls are getting hit on, they don't want to be hit on. It's like there's some girls who are just upfront and just like brutal about it.
Right.
But most women want to gently just diffuse the situation.
Most people.
Yeah.
Most people want as much comfort as possible.
Right.
So I can't. And I'm like a people pleaser in a certain respect. So I would be like, oh, yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can you believe this fucking guy won't leave us
Keeps coming.
You should
Keeps
get,
coming.
there should be something at every restaurant. You know what, those Brazilian steakhouses?
Yeah.
You could put like a green thing or a red
Yes,
thing.
I love that.
You should be able to do that. That should be at every restaurant.
That's really a great idea.
Green thing, red thing.
Yeah.
So the green means we'd like to speak to the waiter. Red means, we're done. We've done waiter. I don't want, how the first bites? Nope.
Right.
Don't even do that. The red's up.
In that same vein, how about a call button that shocks them?
Yes.
I mean, that might be illegal.
A collar.
A shock collar.
A shock collar.
Yeah. Then he comes over and, you shock them. And,
how those first bites?
I
guess everything's good.
I don't know if you were ever a waiter.
No.
I was a waiter, and
I didn't have a mortgage either.
I was the worst waiter in the history of restaurants. So I would like get confused, the orders confused a bunch. I was disorganized. I'm good at focusing on one thing. Like these waiters, to defend them, it's like, hey, I have to focus on a bunch of different things at once. So it's much harder than it looks.
It's a big multitask.
Yeah.
I listen, having never been a waiter, I am very much in the boat of like, I know nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not, like I'm back into the doctor's office.
Right.
This is your show.
Yeah.
I can understand, I didn't even think of the multitasking that goes on as a waiter.
Keeping everything, multiple tables, multiple people at tables.
And then they keep changing.
They keep changing, and they keep like, can I get this on the side? Can I get that? Can you bring extra ketchup? All of this stuff puts you, what they call in the waiting tables, puts you in the weeds, which means that you're swamped with little things. So the good thing to do is have everything like silverware, water, everything like immediately accessible.
Right.
Like ketchup, mustard, salt, and pepper on the table. So
Already
people aren't
there.
like, can I have a little bit of this? Can I have a little? Because that puts you
Right.
in the weeds doing that.
See, that is even more reason for my red light, green light idea.
Yes.
At every table, no matter what. It should be ubiquitous.
Yeah.
It should be at nice restaurants. It can be a little bit nicer of a look.
Yeah.
And at, the IHOPs of the world.
Right.
Like, don't need
It is a good idea. It is a good idea.
Get on your way.
Yeah.
Take the other tables.
Yeah.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Mike Vecchione at Comic Mike V. Luxury Lounge. My gym plays their music way too loud. So this is back to the gym music thing. Hey, Papa JT and guests, huge fan, longtime listener since Poop Talk when it was the TFM podcast. Well, thank you. I live in NYC and belong to a pretty good gym. They have good amenities and machines and whatnot, good showers and sauna too. I've run into an issue recently where they play their playlist music way too loud. Everyone that walks in here is wearing their own earphones and wants their own music or podcast to get their workouts done. Their music drowns out mine, and it's super frustrating, especially when I don't like their playlist. I'm not trying to blow my ears out or buy a $300 noise-canceling headset. It's driving me nuts having my tunes and podcasts drowned out by their mediocre playlist. What do you think of this?
I agree with it.
Totally agree.
Totally agree with it.
It's frustrating because it's like, again, to reiterate, you're going to your own place when you're at the gym. You're going to a place that's not on Earth. It's not in reality.
Right.
It's your...
You're going back in time to a primal individual.
Right.
Whether you're a man or a woman.
Totally.
I can see women like you're just going to a primal place.
And you want to get there safely.
Yeah.
All of us are going to have hearing problems.
Right.
There's no question. All of us, we are sticking sound makers into our bodies.
Right.
And then when we can't hear them, we jack them up.
Yeah.
So they are adding to this. And I've known this, that I was going to have hearing issues. I've known since 15 years now, since out of college, because I would go to the gym and jack it up.
Yeah.
And I try to be better at it. Like, you can see on your iPhone if you're doing it in the healthy way or whatever.
Right.
And you try to be better, but you just know. And I don't need other things creating environments where it's going to make it even worse.
Yeah. I don't mind music playing in the background at a
Right.
gym. I actually don't mind it. But it just, jacking it up too much is like, it's terrible for everyone.
So, and that's the thing.
there's a lounge in my gym too. It's like, you're trying to do work in the lounge, and this music is, I don't know if they're doing that on purpose because they don't want, it's a lounge. You want people in there. But it's like, it's just too loud sometimes.
But are they doing this for people who don't bring headphones? Because at that point, it's like, why are we helping our least capable people?
Right.
Like, if someone doesn't bring headphones to the gym, like, you're on your own, kid.
Yeah.
Like, you done fucked up.
Yeah, but sometimes I will, during the lifting part, I do a cardio also, but the lifting part, I will intentionally not do any headphones.
Okay.
But I'm fine if it's silent.
Right.
I'm fine if there's no background music.
But you're
I'm
doing
it
that
on
to
purpose.
that's on purpose. You're
Yes.
not even you're just trying to get to create what you're trying to do. I would assume is you're trying to create for the cardio part to be even more
Yes.
amped up.
Yeah, amped up.
You want to go from nothing, chill,
Right.
getting my lift to
Right.
I'm running during the hardest part where I need my mind off
Yes.
it the most. I want to
Yeah.
be zoned in on the
Yeah.
music. I get that.
If I could, I wouldn't use music in the cardio part either.
Right.
But it's just like it's kind of a little bit of a crutch.
Oh, no, it's
You know?
you need it.
Need it.
Absolutely. JTrain Podcast at gmail.com. JTrain Podcast at gmail.com. Here with Mike Vecchione at Comic Mike V. Go follow on Instagram. The special, the attractives, it's there. And like a night is just planned for you. Luxury Lounge, Winery Woes.
Okay.
JTrain and
Yes.
Winery hopping this weekend and was looking forward to a nice glass of wine and a fancy charcuterie board. Looking at the menu, the options were either a 3-cheese board or a 3-meat board, each priced at $25 a board, with no ability to mix and match. Now, I'm standing at the tasting counter having to choose between meat or cheese because I could not justify spending $50 for both meat and cheese. To add insult to injury, the cheeses arrive individually, saran wrapped in a cardboard box with crackers and a baggie on the side. No extras, dried fruit, jam, etc. Not only was the variety lacking, but now I have to unwrap and assemble my board. If a winery's sole food offered is a charcuterie board, I feel the bare minimum is the ability to have both meat and cheeses on a pre-assembled board. Would love the board lord to weigh in. That is me. Thanks, whining at the winery. What do you think?
That's a great complaint.
It's a fantastic complaint.
That person is absolutely right.
Right.
Absolutely right.
It's absolutely right.
And I think almost it sounds like the winery is doing it on purpose to
That's
get you to buy two and then to make it, but to wrap everything individually, maybe because of COVID or something, there's a kind of a thing there where it's like, we want to show you that you're the only one touching it. But when you're buying that, it's like you want it mixed together
right,
and you want it accessible. Why make it more difficult unless you're trying to get me to spend more money?
No, they're trying to get you to spend more money because here's the other part. It's wrapped individually.
Yeah.
So you could easily be like, what do you want from which bucket you want?
Yeah.
They're all wrapped individually.
Right.
So you should be able to go a la carte.
Yeah.
You should be able to. And listen, you should never buy a charcuterie board at a restaurant. I believe it's the biggest waste of money.
Really?
You shouldn't buy anything at a restaurant that you or a baby could make themselves. They don't even turn on an oven.
Yeah.
They're just jacking that price up. It is no one. I don't mind being fucked if they don't realize they're fucking me.
Right, right.
And this, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
You know, people don't just want a meat board,
Right.
don't just want a cheese board. We should be able to get, and then not enough crackers are coming.
Right.
We should be able to go, I want 3 crackers, 1 brie, 1 salami.
Yeah.
Give me some of that.
Even just a board that they construct that's a mix
Right.
would be a better option.
But now they're getting $50 to kind of get rid of some shit. And they're probably putting on that board something that's way cheaper. You know, Walmart, their whole game is that Walmart will sell you things like below cost to get you to buy their other things that are above cost.
Right.
This is kind of what these people are doing. They're going on a board. They're going, we're going to give you 3 cheeses and some crackers. And it's $25.
Yeah,
one of the cheeses is $6 and then the rest are 25 cents.
Yeah, yeah. I have a big thing about trying to screw your own customers. It's like we're on board.
Right, we're
like
here.
We're coming here to spend money. Don't screw me when I'm already trying to give you money.
Well, that's the other thing. They know they have you by the balls.
Yeah.
It's a winery. So it's not like you can go next door to 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
You're in a huge field that you have to drive out to.
God,
that's the other part of it.
Yes.
Right. So it's like that's the other part of the thing where you go, make this all easy on me.
Right.
Make it at cost. Like, you know what I love? The Masters. You watch the Masters? You watch golf?
I don't watch it. I'm aware of it, though.
The Masters is known for having these their snacks are well known that you can only like everything's like $1. Like they know you're at the Masters and they know they're going to get you for whatever you want to, there's only so much food there, but they're like, everything's known to be extremely cheap. And I think it might be cash only. So it's like, they want you to come with a $20 bill and feel really good about spending that $20 bill. And it's like, it makes you appreciate it more. You go, I want to go. I want to have the $1 pimento cheese sandwich. I don't care what. And that's the thing. The undersell, over deliver. $1 for a pimento cheese. It could taste like cat urine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care. I go, it's a fucking $1.
Yeah.
And these people, there's no satisfaction.
There's no satisfaction.
I don't think anyone walks away happy.
No one walks away happy, and no one comes back to your winery.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like,
No, you know, and if we
remember that. I mean, if you're not, I guess if you don't care, it's still the wrong thing to do if you don't care about return business.
Right. Well,
Because there's reviews written now and all this stuff. So it's like, you don't want that. It's like, the customer's there. They're going to spend money. Treat them right.
If I'm coming back like I'm going to the movies. Big winter jacket.
Yeah.
Cheese in all the pockets. Crackers in my hat. Just dipping from different pockets.
Right.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. The Attractives. It's on YouTube right now. Whew. Okay, this is a bit of a long one. Ready?
Okay, ready.
iPhone offloading my apps. Jared, Shelby, and guest, Feather. My LLC today is that after a recent iPhone update, my phone has been offloading my apps in order to save space on my phone. Frustrating since I don't get close to using all the storage on my phone. If I only had to download an app again to use it, I think I could restrain myself from writing in. But this is a double insult because when an app gets offloaded, you have to download the app and hope that you have good Wi-Fi signal to do that. So if it gets offloaded, you now have to re-download every time you want to use it.
I have that on my phone, yeah.
And also you have to sign back into the app.
Oh,
that's brutal.
That's tough.
Now you got to remember the password. And you got to go through is it strong enough? There's a data leak. But wait, Jared, there's more. The signing back in BS is further complicated by the fact that I can't remember which apps I've signed in using email password versus sign in with Google versus sign in with Facebook. It's gotten out of control. Yeah. And for years, I've been using a password manager app, but I haven't bothered to enter those sign-in details unless the apps are related to my actual bills. I noticed this change a few weeks ago and actually started an email to you in the middle of a hike in a state park with my boyfriend and his elderly mother, who decided early in the hike she wanted to take a shortcut back to the car without backtracking. I'm sure you can guess that while I was able to download the app, I couldn't remember my login and ended up subscribing to All Trails app, but with a whole new account and a whole new charge for a yearly subscription because I mistakenly assumed that mine had expired and needed to renew. What a clusterfuck that was to sort out. Too frustrated on my hike that day to try and type it all out on a tiny keyboard and small phone screen. This feature has renewed my zeal to tattle on Apple to you and all the Luxury Lounge listeners because today my credit card was hacked. Several Uber charges I hadn't made, and now have to go into some of these apps to see how I set up payment options since I've been as consistent with payment options as I have to sign into these apps. I have spent several hours today changing every single reoccurring charge I can think of from my debit card to a credit card for which I get airline points, which perhaps I should have done long ago. Anyways, this may actually be too long an email to make the cut for the show, but thanks to you, Shelby, guests, and listeners for giving me a place to vent about this. Sincerely, I just want my phone to work the same as always. I guess it wasn't too long.
No. And that's a legit complaint.
It is a legit complaint.
Really legit. Especially somebody who's like, that person sounds like they're tech savvy and they're getting thrown.
Right.
It's like, I'm not tech savvy. That's just a tangled web of crazy.
Right. If this is happening to this person, what's happening to your grandma? What's happening to your mom? What's happening to your aunt? Yeah. Where your inheritance that could be buying you an apartment without a mortgage is just dripping out of your family's estate because there's probably 30 cards that they don't know how to use.
Yeah.
They're re-downloading apps. They've got all these subscriptions.
I did that, actually. I did that thing with boxing at the Zone. I wanted to get a fight. I was already like a member of it before. I redid the app. I re-signed up, and then it dumped me right after the fight was over. And then I can't sign back in because I think I signed in under a different whatever. And then I couldn't figure out how to get it back.
And then you're just in this weird limbo of like, how much do I need to care about this?
Yeah, I mean, how much do you have to do before you just cut it as a loss?
Right.
Mean, how much time is this?
Right. I am now going to spend $9.99 a month just to not deal with it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it becomes. It just becomes, they kill you with bureaucracy and red tape.
Right. And this is the thing. The technology's there. The idea that we
Yeah.
don't have the ability to like streamline all this.
Yeah.
Like they in the App Store, it should just be like turn off all subscriptions. Let's start again.
Yeah.
I'd rather be able to start from the beginning
Right.
than have to go through which app is charging me
Yeah.
versus which do I have a password
Right.
for versus which. It's there for us.
Well, isn't the facial identification the thing?
Right.
Isn't that a
there
thing?
now.
Yeah. Do we need passwords anymore? Do we need like a two-system authenticate? Which is like, if is my face looking into it and a green check comes up and it opens, like, how easy is that? Why
Right.
can't everything just be that?
Like
or a
if-
fingerprint?
And that's the thing. We've already given our facial stuff to Father Algorithm.
Yeah.
We've given it up. We've
Right.
given up all, none of us are going off the grid. We're all on the grid.
Right.
Now that we've given it up, now let me make it easy.
Yeah. Make it easy.
Right. Don't make it even harder. We have done what you've asked.
Right.
At every turn.
Right.
So now
Yeah. The technology should
Work
be
for-
to the point where it makes it easier
Right.
now instead of harder.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com, JTrainPodcast@gmail.com, here with Mike Vecchione. We got one more. Is that okay?
Yeah.
At Comic Mike V, go follow The Attractives. That's the special. It's out right now. Luxury Lounge. Quesadillas and galas don't mix.
Ooh.
JTrain and guests, thanks for the safe space to complain. Thanks to this podcast, I've started finding joy in complaining instead of sitting in frustration. You're welcome. On to the reason why I'm writing. I'm in med school, and every year the school holds a gala, which gives us a chance to dress up and get fancy. This year it was hosted at the City Football Stadium, and we paid $50 for a ticket that we were told included entry, 2 drinks, and a buffet dinner. All right.
Okay.
Last year, the buffet dinner included roast beef, mashed potatoes, pasta, and a full dessert bar. This year, we were served quesadillas, tortilla chips, and waffles. And not chicken and waffles, or even waffles and butter and syrup, just waffles.
Wow.
What a weird...
That's weird.
When you hear quesadillas and tortilla chips, it's like, okay, they went
Yeah.
with a Mexican theme.
Yeah.
And then waffles. Strange combo aside, if I had known that this was quote-unquote dinner, I would have eaten beforehand. But since I was expecting a large buffet, I hadn't eaten since lunch, and I had nothing but a limp quesadilla and soggy waffle to soak up the alcohol. I get so angry just thinking about this, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to vent a disappointed bitch. I love it. I wanted to make sure I nailed
great.
that. What do you think?
No, I think that's a trick. It was a trick buffet. When
Right.
you say buffet is an all-encompassing word,
Right.
and our mind immediately goes to lots of options and
Gluttony.
never-ending. Yeah,
Right.
but options and never-ending. Like
Right.
you lock onto something you really like. That's more of that, less of that next time. I mean,
Right.
Multiple trips to the buffet. It's like it gives you this impression that of options and never-ending food. What this guy got gypped. Because they used the
Right.
word buffet, they should have just said there will be quesadillas and waffles available for some reason.
That's the difference. You couldn't be more right. That's the thing. Buffet, when you say the word buffet,
Yeah.
I would say we're more on the same page than we're not.
Yes.
So what you think of and what I think of are probably similar.
Right.
Multiple options, the ramekins, sterno cups,
Yeah.
heated,
Yes.
cold.
Right.
We expect
Sneeze guard.
sneeze guard, long table.
Yes. May or may not have an ice cream bar.
knows?
That's fine.
That's
if
where
there's not one.
But that's where your
Yes.
definition and mine
Right.
start to branch.
Right.
But we think of options, long table, sterno cup, ramekins. And when you get into quesadilla and waffle, that should be said.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah.
The fact that it's almost as if they tried to not say it.
They tried to not say it, and it seems like they took maybe leftovers from another buffet.
Right.
It didn't work out, and they've created their own buffet to save a few dollars.
Right. There was some sort of Oktoberfest party and a Cinco de Mayo party.
It's like
that
they
they
went to
still
the
had the
back of
food
an
from.
IHOP and
Right.
just took the bags of stuff that they threw out
Right.
and made it into a buffet.
It's crazy.
And it's crazy to pass that off as nutrition because it's a medical school gala.
Right. This
Right?
is
I mean, these guys know the food pyramid. They know what you're supposed to get. And this doesn't fit any of the food groups. Waffles and quesadillas?
we don't even have. I mean, we don't know if they're chicken quesadillas or steak. considering this menu, I'm assuming it's vegan.
Yeah.
Just cheese quesadilla.
Yeah.
This sounds like the menu a drunk fraternity guy would put together from whatever food he could find in the fridge.
That's really great. A drunk guy, a high guy.
Right.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
I think I got like some waffles and a quesadilla. There's cheese.
Yeah. A guy who's not expecting company.
Right. Mike Vecchione, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Everyone go follow Mike at Comic Mike V on Instagram. The special, The Attractives. It's on YouTube right now. Go watch, share it. Let a friend know. Tell a friend. I'm Jared Freid. We're here every Thursday in the lounge. We'll be back next week. Boom.